Some time has passed and we have Pharaoh Total War. That is the next historical title in the Total War franchise. Now, I'm going to be discussing my point of view as to why I think Pharaoh Total War shouldn't be underestimated. Yes, does it have a lot of criticism? Does it have a lot of backlash at the moment? It does. Because the main criticism is that Pharaoh Total War is a reskin of Troy. It pretty much has elements borrowed from Troy. It pretty much has unit redesigns from Troy. It has many of these aspects. But while that may hold true, I don't subscribe to that. I do not subscribe to the idea that Pharaoh Total War is just simply another reskin. I think Total War Pharaoh is a better reskin of Total War Troy. I think that Pharaoh Total War is going to be a solid Total War game. Now, of course, if I say this opinion, many will disagree. Many will say that I am simply just arguing for the favor of, CA and all of that. I'm not. I'm not trying to defend this game, and I'm not trying to defend CA. Rather, what I'm trying to say is that once I get the game, then I'll be able to make an opinion. Openly deciding to judge it now is going to be a bit of a fallacy in my opinion. Because if you're just judging a game and you think that this game is not going to work, this game isn't going to work at all, it just basically doesn't have anything unique, it doesn't have any unique mechanics, etc., then that, I think, is the wrong approach. But I am not here to basically tell you that your opinion on this game is wrong. I can't do that. If you think that in your opinion that this game does not work for you, then that is your opinion. That is what it should be. And if it's right for you, then it is right for you. Your truth will be your truth. But my version of the truth will be different from others. I don't think that this game is that bad. I don't think this game deserves the harsh criticism. And I certainly do not believe that, this game is just another... It's just, bare minimum... It's just a bare minimum amount. Not much else has been put in. It's just done like that. I mean, you try and research and recreate ancient Egypt. You try and research every single thing about the culture. And then you try and create this entire Total War game. Because this is not easy. It's not easy to create games in the first place. And video games themselves are a business. Because Troy Total War didn't work last time thanks to the Epic Deal store or whatever it was. Troy didn't work. And Troy honestly was not a bad game. Troy probably had the battle mechanics they could have redone. But there was nothing that was going to say save Troy at that point. Because Troy had the epic deal, then he had the mythos, then had the truth behind the myth. Troy had a lot of problems that basically hampered it from the start. Had they gone full fantasy, I don't think that would have been too much of a problem, to be honest. It would have been historical fantasy, but it would have been at least something rather than nothing. And the way I'm discussing this is that I am trying to say we need nuance, we need a bit of balance. Just because Pharaoh Total War has different mechanics, different ideas, does not mean that it should be similarly identified as another Troy Total War 2 or Troy reskin. I say it's a better version of Troy. Bigger campaign map, more cities, more expansive city battle maps, the ability to have siege escalation, although there is no civilians within the sieges, which is disappointing. And you can see obviously that the sieges look great, that there is a whole bunch of new features that have been brought here, resource source management, and I want to be optimistic about this game. I don't buy into the negativity surrounding this game. I just do not buy into it. Why? Because I love the Bronze Age time period. This is a time period of heroes, of warriors, of chariots, of epic battles, of sweeping architecture, way before, anything else existed. Civilization was beginning to blossom in the Bronze Age. And I think that we are severely underestimating that impact. You want to talk about the medieval period? The medieval period has like 15 games at least. Which video game developer is making a video game on the Bronze Age? Be it on any genre, be it in any strategy. No one. No one is making a game on the Bronze Age. Only indie developers are making it. Maybe city building developers, are making that type of Bronze Age game. But no one is going into the big Bronze Age era. So this is my argument. My argument is that Pharaoh Total War is a dive into the Bronze Age. It is exploring something new, and it is exploring something that hasn't been covered in Total War. This was my dream Total War for a very long time. When it was announced, I was expecting Medieval 3 or Empire 2 Total War. And I don't necessarily think that the criticism surrounding Pharaoh Total War is invalid. In fact, it's very valid. From the political UI, let's say that you could change the UI to be a bit more reflective of ancient Egyptian culture. You could go for a deep blue, bronze type of method. You could definitely try a bit more. You know, you can definitely redo a couple of the units here and there. You can change the battle UI. You can definitely include family, tree, and politics and marriage. And you can add Mesopotamia because Mesopotamia is needed. A game without Mesopotamia does kind of feel a bit, we really need Mesopotamia in this game. At the same time, here's what I say. If I'm not going to change your opinion on this game, that's fine. I don't need to change your opinion. But someone has to play this game, someone has to try it. And I'm going to make it. I'm not going to believe in this, that this game is going to, flounder within 3-4 months and then boom, it's gone. I'm here under measure of time. I'm going to create ambiences. I'm going to create cinematic narratives. I'm going to create content on this game. Because for an eternity, I have dreamed of Pharaoh Total War set in the Bronze Age. But some might say that, but this is a game that has bad mechanics. The battle mechanics don't bother. Well, I have mods. Mods can fix that. I understand the argument that mods cannot be something that will fix a game. But unfortunately, we live in an age where mods have to do the heavy lifting in some areas. But does that mean that Pharaoh Total War needs mods? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. I don't want to judge this game until I have completed this game itself. Conquered the entire campaign map and played every single bit. Because mods will add to the replayability of what Pharaoh Total War battles are so, the untouchable that you can't really say much about it. The battles don't feel great, the battles are this, that, whatever. There have been many YouTubers that have given valid criticism, like Jackyfish. He gave an excellent response on how the battle should be. The battle should feel more impactful. There's been, of course, issues that have been shown about units jumping here and there. There have been good things pointed out. And we have to give credit to the CA Sophia team, because they were the ones that added in Family Tree. They were the ones that added the excellent Rome 2 DLCs, Rise of the Republic, Empire Divided. And they also added in the politics, the family tree, and I believe marriage as well. They basically made Rome 2 even more greater. And that has to be acknowledged, right? Because I have to give credit to them. At least when you play a game with CA Sophia, when they make these type of Total War games, there's a lot of innovation. They are trying a lot, and the developers are clearly passionate about the time. But back to this point, Pharaoh Total War also has an excellent soundtrack, excellent ambience, a day and night cycle mode. Now these may not be featured as a big thing, but it's a big thing for me. I create ambiences, I create cinematic narratives, I create all of these gameplay videos so that I can enjoy the fine aspects of Total War. I'm not a stats-based guy, I'm not a detailed type of guy that can go and fully analyze every single thing. I have been trying to expand my horizon, trying to look at what Total War Pharaoh is offering, and I think the campaign experience could be different. But does that mean that this game could become repetitive? Many chances. Is there potential for this game to go completely the other way? Absolutely. So there's many ways this game can succeed and flounder at the same time. In fact, the best way for Pharaoh Total War to succeed is I would recommend watching Gudeo's Total War's video. And I would definitely watch his video because he is an excellent Total War YouTuber who has covered a lot of Rome Total War mods and a couple of other Total War videos. But in that video he explains as to what Pharaoh Total War needs to do in order to become even more and more greater. And Pharaoh Total War needs to expand to Mesopotamia. That's pretty much clear. And I don't believe in I just don't buy. The more I've seen of this game, the more it's convincing me. Maybe it's because I'm biased. Maybe it's because I like the time period. Maybe that's what's causing my bias. Some might not like it. And you are fully entitled, as I have said, to have that opinion. If Pharaoh Total War is not for you, then it won't be. It just won't be. No amount of change, no amount of conviction will convince you that Pharaoh Total War could be good. Because at this point, if what you've seen has not impressed you, then why bother? Maybe when you see more gameplay, perhaps opinions can change. But we should also give credit to the fact that we're getting a solid game. I think it's a solid game. And if that's blasphemy to say that, then I don't know what is. I don't want to necessarily defend Pharaoh or defend CA. What I want is that we shouldn't judge a game too early. We shouldn't judge a book by its cover. If you want to see this game succeed or flop or whatever, then do it on the day when it's launched. Do it during the early access phase. Decide and see how this game is going to be. Because if we go with that approach is much better. But then, saying that this game is going to be a flop, it's going to be a success, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it doesn't need to work that way. I want to see what the game is, play the game entirely, and then make my opinion. Because then it will be more accurate. If I just say no, that I love Pharaoh and Pharaoh's going to be great, that's not accurate. It looks good, but until I play it, I won't know. Let me ask you this then. If Empire 2 Total War, if Medieval 3 Total War comes out, and they carry the elements of the newer Total War games, what will you say to that? Will you complain about it? Will you say that this game is not for me, that this game is a complete reinterpretation of Medieval 2 and it doesn't follow the roots or anything like that? Then what will you say then? Because you also have to understand that it is bringing a lot of features from the old games. But simply bringing back these elements from these older Total War games shouldn't serve as an excuse to say, but look, we're bringing back features from old games, we hope you're happy with it. When really Total War needs to be innovated, needs to be adding new mechanics, new features. And Pharaoh Total War seems, from my point of view, from what I've seen so far, it seems that it is adding features here and there. Do I dare say that it is going to be innovative as, say, Three Kingdoms was? I don't think so. Three Kingdoms was really innovative in many areas. But when it comes to, let's say, now in Pharaoh, I think Pharaoh's a good mix. It's a good mix of old and new. I think Pharaoh Total War is looking to have a solid identity. And some people will say, no, it doesn't have solid identity. Well, what difference will it make then? Because if you say that this game's mechanics aren't good, this game is, not even the best of the best, this game is just, it's just a risk and a Troy, then at what point are we going to keep on hearing the same thing? Why do I need to hear the same thing? Why don't I hear something different about Pharaoh? Why don't I hear about the fact, if I want to hear negative criticism, I want to hear the negative criticism regarding more of the campaign features, regarding more of the stats, regarding more of the RPG features, regarding more of the fact that when you are playing a Total War campaign, you have a faction, you get your generals acquire traits, whereas in Total War Warhammer and in Total War Pharaoh, you are basically adding new traits or whatever. Okay? That's criticism. How about the battle mechanics may not be that great? And that's even more good criticism. How about the fact that siege escalation is great, but there's no civilians within the sieges? That's good criticism. That's the type of criticism we need. And if previous entries of Total War have not impressed you, then I fully understand where you're coming from. Look, I'll say this. Let's start a discussion in the comment section down below. I'll respond to whatever I can, be it positive or negative, and if there's backlash or whatever, like to my video for example, then I'll take that on. Alright, I'm prepared for whatever may come. Because it feels like I can't enjoy aspects of this game because everybody is so negative about Pharaoh in the first place. And I'm forced to make this video to basically say my opinion. I'm forced to. Am I saying that anybody is wrong for having their negative opinion about Pharaoh? No. Have it. Say what you want. But there should be a positive balance as well. There should be a number of YouTubers out there that are positive about this game. Andy's take is a great he did a fantastic video on, Andy's take did a very balanced video on the defense of Pharaoh. The other way is maybe have a look at other YouTubers like Reptilicus, who is also appreciative of Pharaoh Total War because it's a dream game for him. And I think that's where Pharaoh Total War should go. It should go in a way that it takes feedback. And I do think the developers will take the feedback. They have at least taken some of the best parts of old Total War and put it here. Now you might ask, what's the best part? Jericho. That was the, let's say, the Rome Total War 1 cheat, and that's been added in. Advancing units so that they advance and they don't just, hold. And you have, I hope there's guard mode, and there are other elements as well. But for that I need to play the game, I need to see what it is. It's a game in the Bronze Age, I like it and I want to play it. I want to make ambience, I want to make content. I'm a cinematic YouTuber, that's what I am. So let me know what your opinions are, and I want to see what you guys think. And people will say, oh, this is just a defense of Pharaoh Total War. This is a game I wanted. This is a game that I will kind of defend in a way. And I will have bias. There's no escaping it. And for those that want to react, please feel free to react. Doesn't matter. React to my videos, it helps me at the end of the day. But I fully understand where all Total War fans are coming from, because I'm critical of Total War too. I also have opinions as well. I can even be even more critical, but I decide not to, because at this point in my time I just learned to enjoy playing Total War games, and I just want to do that. I want to create content and I want to enjoy it. I just want to talk about Pharaoh where at least there's some positivity. I'm not saying stop the negativity. You should have your opinion, but at least allow the people that like this time period, that like this game, to, let them discuss what they want. Let them say whatever they want to. If they think that the soundtrack is great, let them. If they think the game is a 10 out of 10, let them. What one person may not like may be different compared to others. That's what I'm trying to say here. Let's see what people think. At the end of the day, I want Total War Pharaoh to succeed. I want it to become a great game. I don't want it to fail. I don't want it to flop. Because it has so much potential. It has the potential to become a really good Total War game. But it also has the potential to go the other way. So let's see where Pharaoh Total War will take us.